Ladies and gentlemen, we hope that the rest of the participants will join us briefly, but we are ready to start next part of the conference, and this is a new format, not having been taken right now since the morning. This is a 15-minute, it is called Fireside Chat, and here is the interviewer, and who are you going to talk with? I would say the CEO from the future, even say, or visionary CEOs. This is Mariusz Monsior, CEO of the company, which is called Consonance. Please welcome Mariusz. This is Kazimierz. If you don't know this guy, you really should know this guy. Since Kazimierz Murzyn, Managing Director of LifeScience Kraków Klaster Initiative, and as well President of LifeScience Kraków Klaster Foundation. The stage is yours.
Let's sit.
Yes.
Thanks.
And please welcome me with the applause. Thank you.
Fireside chats are not supposed to be kind of buffers to shorten the time between the main sessions. It's a pretty much important part of the talks. First, let me check if we are talking with the right person, because Maciej announced that you are visionary CEO. Is that true?
I think we'll see in a few years. I think that everything we can discuss or judge, assess from the time perspective. So hopefully enough of my decisions, current, future, and the past, will show in the end that I was visionary.
So you think that visionary CEO has to prove he was a visionary? Not he will be.
Well, there is a truth of television and the real truth. So. Truth of television, I could come here in a black sweater or blouse and told you how smart I am, what I see in the future, and so on, but it doesn't work like this. So reality is that everybody struggles, try to make the best decisions with limited knowledge, limited information they have, and hope for the best. And optimistic element of this is that enough innovators, people of science, of technology working in startups manage to have success in the end. So I believe that there is also a method into this, but not so flashy that you can show that I was this vision, I strictly stay by it, but by having strong commitment, strategy, being open-minded. And in the end, we can say that somebody was this visionary, really.
Okay, so very quickly about your company. What you have envisioned so far?
Sure. So I'm, let's say, somebody who is helping also with vision. So Consonance, existing for 10 years right now, is working and helping with medtech innovation. So we act as a R&D studio, helping with research development concerning medical devices, especially active medical devices, electronic engineering, computer science, data science, machine learning, regulatory stuff concerning preparation of the documentation, the right approach to the market, then transfer to manufacturing, and we also act as a manufacturing side for our clients. We are working mostly for startups, sometimes for bigger organizations, but mostly or only with innovative products. So if nothing exists, if it is hard, it is exactly the project that we want to be involved with.
Okay, thank you. 10 years, it's enough to say that you did make mistake and you should do something else, or you want to continue. So first question, very quickly, you have heard about this discussion before, and also the keynotes about the strategies about the future. And the question is actually, can you share a recent strategic decision that reflects your commitment to aligning cutting-edge science with Europe's evolving public health priorities? Do you care about public priorities?
Well, to give you very straight and direct answers, I don't care so much. I don't think that anybody cares really. So still, I don't say it is not important. It is, but retrospectively. So it gives us a lot of understanding what changed and what we can expect. It is a lot of knowledge that can help us, but it is not helping with making decisions right now. So still being open-minded, conscious about making decisions current. I cannot share with you like my strategic decisions that I'm making right now or helping to make that will have like great impact, that I will discuss in a few years that it was the great decision or my great advice to somebody that helped or changed something. I can share multiple decisions that over time appeared to be right or wrong concerning the biggest changes. And the biggest changes or environment that we have, it's always caused by expected events and unexpected events. So healthcare, we are working basically in healthcare, life science, medtech, biotech, is quite stable. It works on people. People existed and hopefully will exist, will have diseases, will have problems with health. The whole structure around healthcare, so regulatory stuff, reimbursement, is quite stable. I think that nobody expects that something will change dramatically in a year. But there are also unexpected changes. So unexpected changes was first 6 years ago announcement of MDR, then introduction of the MDR. Brexit was quite big change, especially for people in UK. The pandemics was huge change. The war in Ukraine and the impact of our closest proximity and investment decisions were impactful. Right now, the change of the trade policies in the US are impactful. So it is very hard to tell even. We can spend whole discussion, whole conference on deciding what will be the biggest element or the most driving factor next year in the healthcare. And I think that we'll leave this conference and everybody will have different decision or not knowing at all. So still, I think that right now, everybody needs to make a decision or stay open-minded. And past decisions, well, I can talk more about them,
But still, you have some kind of strategy. How far?
Yeah, so I think it is constant strategy. So for me, one of the, in the time it was small decision, but it is still impactful, that we do medtech. So my background was academia. I was working as a researcher at the AGH University, mostly in machine learning, signal processing. So it appeared in some moment that medtech is interesting for me, for my closest proximity friends that we started the company, still being at the university. And the first project that came to us from thin air, basically, was medtech startup. It was Kraków, a startup from Kraków, CTG device for mobile CTG device. So it was by chance, but that was our decision to look for another project exactly in the medtech. While it was interesting, while we already learned a little bit about regulations and were willing to learn more. And apparently this was quite big strategic decisions and the correct one. So for us, being very focused only on medtech, so not going into biotech, general devices, hardware, electronics, and so on, we can do this. We have great team, great engineers who can do basically everything, but our strong focus was this one. So I think this was the biggest strategic decision over time that shaped Consonance and my work career.
But over the time, did you crash with the other strategies, especially national or European, as regards the supporting or development or results of innovations, impacting innovations in healthcare?
Sure. So I think the biggest impact is not coming directly from healthcare. So working for startups and innovators from universities, I think the biggest impact that is created in Europe comes from the European research grants, both on the national level and European level. So EIC, EIT, in Poland, National Center for Research and Development. So this is impactful because for innovation, you need smart people and money, basically, and a lot of luck.
Resources.
Yeah, so people we have here, so we can still do more, put more attention to education, to STEM fields, but money is scarce, so everywhere. In Europe, we need to do blend finance of private and public funds. So I think for most of the startups, most innovation, and also for me, basically, I need to know how this system works to predict better what our clients, our partners, startups, what we can do with it. how it works. So how works the EIC grants. I'm also a mentor and expert in EIC. We as a company work as an EIC partner. One of, I think, 2 or 3 organizations from Poland that has like full support for R&D research in the medtech field. So understanding these elements on the European level is very important. We are working in highly regulated areas. So there is MDR and IVDR, both regulations concerning medical devices and in vitro diagnostic devices. So knowledge of this, knowledge of the all regulatory aspects of standards concerning the development of medical devices is super important. So obviously it has huge impact, but still it requires much. It is not directly like these regulations or this general knowledge is not impacting decisions directly. There is much more into this.
Okay, because time is precious, I will skip the one question and I will ask you the final one, because it's very interesting to have your vision, because you are visionary CEO. What kind of bold changes Europe has to make in the near future in order to allow companies like you and startups you are supporting? And I noticed that you are a believer if you are being entrepreneur and at the same time the consultant, the expert in EIC. So you understand it from the outside and inside. So what kind of bold decision you think it should be made across the Europe? But I'm asking about the bold decisions, kind of visionary decisions, maybe that will help the industry to progress and to develop.
Yeah, so I think there is multiple areas. So I think I'm not sure if this is a bold decision, but I think that even thinking in the matter of bold decisions, big decisions, or we can do something with one strict solution and solve all the problems. It doesn't work like this. So this is a systemic approach is needed. It is not like flashy answer. I'm sure that some politicians would make better answers that will be more compelling, but still we don't need bold decisions. We need stability. Stability concerning the environment, the regulations. I think that exactly the same amount of attention put into writing regulations should be put into not writing regulations. Because regulations, I'm maybe not a fan, but I understand that necessary of the regulations. But still, more regulations make appearance that Europe is bad for business because we are over-regulated. It is not entirely true, but the appearances are also important in the business. So I think that making less or maybe making more on the more basic level might be necessary. So focus more on the education, on the high school education, pushing more mathematics, physics, biology into high school, into higher education. Maybe limit other types of educations. This is important. Bringing more money from outside Poland, so from Europe and also from outside of Europe. Investments will happen if the environment, regulatory environment, legal environment will be more stable. So I'm absolutely sure I'm a fan of European Union, Europeans, and I believe that we have very strong sides here, especially people and a lot of strong minds. But we still need time. And making bold decisions, trying to shorten the time that we need to get there, wherever is there, may have the opposite result.
So no bold decisions, which are difficult to implement, to decide actually to make this decision, but small steps, but in the right direction.
Yes, small steps, constant validation. If this small step was right, the next step. Not trying to, from the top level, over-regulate from the bottom level for CEOs like me, for innovators in startups, trying to understand all the elements, being a certain open-minded, being at peace that future is not certain, and trying to use this knowledge to better make decisions and to faster validate ideas. And I think it is general advice for everybody. So maybe not looking forward 10 years, hoping 10 years, but really focusing on now, what else I can learn right now, who I can help, how to explain this better, what next steps to do, who to communicate to, who might have also a good knowledge in what I do, and moving forward. And I believe that this is the description or advice for the bright future for us all.
Okay, thank you very much. We've been talking with a visionary entrepreneur leading, working in this area for 10 years now. And if he survived, it seems he was visionary. Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah.